Hey everyone, Dan here, and I am continuing my MCU Infinity Saga rewatch. And the second movie on my slot is Captain Marvel. Now, I realize that Captain Marvel is one of the later movies in the franchise, taking place being released between Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. But chronologically, it takes place before Iron Man and after Captain America. Hence, it's the second movie that I'm doing a video for. Now, I rewatched it the other night, and I remember seeing it in the theater and liking it well enough, but it wasn't my favorite Marvel movie. And the rewatch of it, I think I liked it better after the rewatch. There was a lot of negativity around the film, and I think it was false negativity. It was manufactured negativity by people who didn't want a female hero. I don't know how that works. I don't know why anybody would have that issue. I don't, it's just wrong. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie. If it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie. This is not a bad movie. This is a pretty good movie. It's not Wonder Woman. It's not Captain America, but it's a good movie. Now, it's directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, who did the movies Sugar and Mississippi Grind together, along with some TV series and stuff. So they're used to working together, and I know they also worked on the script. Um, and I think this was their first big budget film, and overall, I think they did a good job. Um, Interestingly, though, it doesn't follow the Marvel formula as much as the other scripts do, the other stories. I mean, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, they all had a basic character arc that they did. They had a villain that matched them in power, and it was a basic formula that was working great for them for from 2008 to 2019. But on this film, they went different. There really wasn't a villain that matched her power wise. I mean, it starts off that her power is restricted, and that makes it interesting. Brie Larson plays the character kind of stiff, not completely stiff, and I think that's part of the negativity towards but it's a necessary stiff because not only is her powers being restricted, but her memories and her personality is as well. They're specifically trying to teach her to be non-emotional, to not be human in a way, and be like the Kree. Well, that's where the problem comes from. And when she sheds that and realizes who she is, she becomes a much stronger character. Now, that's a story arc. That's a character arc. That's what you want to see in a film. Why people would complain about that, I have no idea. So, that aside, I'm done talking about the negativity. I thought Brie did a good job. You get into the character, the Carol Danvers, you want to find out what's going on with her. The Veers character, how she got associated with the Kree, why she sees Annette Bening's character, Dr. Lawson as the Supreme Intelligence, or Marvell, we find out later on. Um, and that's an interesting story to follow. She's very sure of herself, even though she doesn't have her memories, and I like that a lot. I think that was a really nice touch. We didn't get the normal character, trying to figure out their powers and stuff. She just got it, and she knew what she was doing. She could handle anything, and that I find interesting. It was a cockiness, but it wasn't a cockiness that needed to be reined in, like with Thor. It was a cockiness that we just needed to see her powers match it, and in her case, it does. So it's a well-earned cockiness. Um, Jude Law is kind of an interesting character in Jan Rog. He knows that she's being restricted. He's kind of controlling her. He's one that brings her back. Um, so there's a duplicity to him that belies his very straightforward attitude. So that's kind of a nice twist. There isn't a straightforward villain in this. I mean, we spend half of the movie thinking that the Skrulls are the villains and following Ben Mendelsohn's character of Talos, who kidnaps her, who um, what's the term, interrogates her and gets the information out of her. But we find out that he's doing it to save his people while the Kree are doing it to control her because she's so powerful. And they lost the warp drive or the engine that Dr. Lawson was creating. Well, that makes it interesting, but dropping this in the past gives us also some access to characters that we get to see in a new way. We get to see a younger Nick Fury. Samuel L. Jackson gets de-aged and looks great. We get to see him without the eye patch. We get to see how he gets his eye patch thanks to Goose. I don't know what the hell a flurkin is. I've been a Marvel fan for many years, and a flurkin is a completely new thing to me. But it is a lot of fun, and I think they played that really well. I really enjoyed seeing Clark Gregg. I kind of miss him in the MCU. I appreciate him on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I liked his character, especially rewatching, seeing him pop up in different things. I missed his character in the MCU, so it was neat to get him even a younger version. It was also interesting that we got to see a couple throwback characters from the Guardians of the Galaxy. We got to see Korath, played by Jaimin Hunsu, and Lee Pace's Ronan the Accuser, though it was before he did all that makeup or the war paint type look. So it was neat to see those characters come back. I'm kind of hoping that if the next Captain Marvel doesn't take place in the current timeline, if we see the past, maybe we'll get to see them again. Minerva was an interesting character as well. Gemma Chan was a nice addition. But I think they could have done more with her. The rest of the characters were cool, but I think she could have been played up a little more. I find it interesting that they tied her powers to the Infinity Stones, just like everything else in the MCU. It's amazing how what was basically a MacGuffin has turned into the centerpiece of the universe. And I'm curious what's going to happen in the second phase, or the phase 4, as we move past the Infinity Stones, out of the Infinity Saga. What is going to be the new driving force? I don't know if they planned it that way in the beginning. I mean, there was nothing about the Infinity Stones in Iron Man and Hulk or in Thor. We get it in Captain America, but that's just the cosmic cube. That's what Red Skull always wants. So tying it in to Captain Marvel is very interesting because there was the Unibands in the comic character. I don't know. I don't remember the character well enough to remember if that was the source of his powers, but I believe they were, and they kind of tied into the Supreme Intelligence. But again, I'm a little vague on that. Anyway, I thought it was a clever movie. It was a lot of fun, especially at the end when Carol got her memories back. She became a little more fun, and I enjoyed that a lot. It was interesting seeing Monica Rambeau introduced. I look forward to seeing her. She's another Marvel character who uses the name Captain Marvel. She eventually becomes Photon, and from what I understand, she's going to be appearing in the WandaVision series. So that'll be a lot of fun. She's a neat character who was in the Avengers for a long time, ended up leading the team for a while. So it'll be cool to see what they do with her in the year. But overall, I think this was a strong movie. Again, not in my top favorites. I think the restricting of the character was necessary for the story, but it did kind of hold back a little bit in the beginning. I liked Mendelssohn's Talos. I liked Jan Rog. I think Fury was great. A little more of Clark Gregg would have been nice as Agent Coulson. A little more Minerva, like I said. And I'm hoping that whatever they do next with her is fully in space. But the rumors I've been hearing is that it's going to tie into Rogue. I don't know how strong those rumors are. I don't know if they're legit. But I know that Rogue's role in Captain Marvel's life is to siphon her powers at some point, and I think it depowers her a bit. And they might be looking at Captain Marvel right now going, yeah, we made her a little too powerful. She blows up spaceships by herself. We need to power her down. That might be what Rogue's job is. I don't know. But I want to see a big space epic. And I don't mean like Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardian of the Galaxy is great. I love it. But it's a little more comedic. And that's where Thor's going too, even though they're doing more cosmic stuff. I'd like to see a little more serious sci fi. And that's where I see Captain Marvel going. And Sword and stuff like that. So I'll be curious to see how that goes. Um, Again, loved Goose. I think that was a neat addition, and I love how Nick Fury's big heroic moment of how he lost his eye is because he trusted the wrong cat or animal. And um, I think this is a film that's going to hold up well over time. It hasn't had as long to ruminate as like Captain America and Iron Man, so be interesting to see how it's looked at in 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. But I think it's going to hold up well. All right, that's my review of Captain Marvel. We're going to continue on. I believe the next one's going to be Iron Man. So to hit the notification button, and you'll be able to see it when it pops up. Also, please subscribe, share. You know, I'm still trying to build this channel, so anything you could do to help would be appreciated. And hit the like button. I could use some likes, please. All right, everybody. Have a great night.